Welcome back. I'm Ed Wolfe, Central Kitsap County Commissioner. Last segment we had Mayor Patty Lynn from Bremerton and also Mayor Val Tolson from Bainbridge Island, and they began to tell the viewers at home and to talk to me about their projects, about their priorities, about their type of government, and anything they wanted to talk about in terms of their respective cities. Today, we're honored and I'm very pleased to have with me Mayor Becky Erickson from Poulsbo and also Mayor Putaansuu from Orchard. They will talk to us today about their city governments and similar activities in terms of what they do, their demographics, and so forth. So stay tuned. Please come back. Welcome back to Commissioner's Corner. Again, I'm still Ed Wolfe. With me today, I have Mayor Becky Erickson, as I mentioned earlier, from Poulsbo, and Mayor Putaansuu. Welcome, both of you. Good to have you on the show. I'm following up with the other two mayors from the last segment. I'd like to point out to the viewers at home that today we're at the beautiful Silverdale Waterfront Park in the gazebo, and yes, the wind is blowing, and yes, it's about 89 degrees today. But I do want to put a plug in for the Buckle Hill Bridge. Those of you that are local, is open, as you know, and also put a plug in for Jim Dunwitty, our Parks Director, and the beautiful new playground equipment. So if anyone out there, you have kids and you haven't seen this playground equipment, please come and join us here. So let me start. Mayor, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Mayor, nice to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to ask each of you, and there's no special, so don't take it personal. First, what do you do in your city that's different than what maybe Bremerton does, or maybe what Poulsbo, or what Bainbridge Island? Is your government different?
The structure of I think both of our governments is a little different. The city of Poulsbo is organized under what's called a code city, which means it effectively under Washington state law, we are allowed to make ordinances to govern our city that anything that is not explicitly stated in state law, in other words, illegally stated in state law. So we have a lot greater flexibility, but with that comes a lot greater responsibility. I'm a strong mayor. I do not have a city administrator or city manager. And you?
We are a second-class city. And
what is it? She's a first-class city. You're a second-class city.
They're a code city. Okay. We're a second-class city, and we are allowed to do anything outlined in state law. And it's a subtle difference. We're also a strong mayor form of government. So the council is the policy board, and I'm in essence the elected city administrator.
One of my objectives in meeting with the four mayors and presenting you to the audience or to the viewers is I wanted the public to see the cooperation between local government, city government, and our 263,000 total citizenry in Kitsap County. But before we get there, how did you get involved, Mayor Putaansuu, in city politics, or any politics?
Well, I grew up in the Port Orchard community, but not in the city proper. About 15 years ago, my wife and I purchased one of the historical homes downtown, and it's been a labor of love. And within a short period of time of moving downtown, I was asked by Jay Weatherall, the mayor at the time, to serve on the Planning Commission. Mm-hmm. I did that for a couple of years, and then an opening came along on our city council. That was 9 years ago. I served on the city council for 9 years, and this last November I ran for mayor, was elected mayor, so I've been in office 6 months as the mayor of Port Orchard.
And you were on the Planning Commission also, weren't you?
For a couple of years
ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Mayor Erickson, I know you were on the city council,
yes.
So tell us a little bit about your introduction to politics in Poulsbo.
I was introduced into politics in Poulsbo in 2006 when my farm, my husband's farm, family farm, where he was raised, was annexed into the city limit. We were taken into the city against our will, and we were kidnapped, and legally kidnapped. And I became very concerned about some of the things that was going on in city government, and so I ended up running for city council in 2008 and then running for mayor in 2010, and I'm in my 7th year as mayor. So I got into politics because I was mad and concerned. Yeah, I think is the best way to put it.
Are you still mad?
Sometimes I get righteous
I know you're
anger.
concerned.
Sometimes I have righteous anger, but I would say more that I am concerned and proactive about what's going on in local government.
I'd say you have passion about anything you get involved in.
I am passionate
I
about
wouldn't call it
certain
being
things.
mad. So Mayor Putaansuu, let's talk a minute about the demographics of Port Orchard, and if you tie into that somehow, the budget of your government.
Sure. We're a city of 13,800. We're currently the 5th fastest growing city on a percentage basis in the Puget Sound region, and the fastest growing county in the city and the county. Much of that growth is happening in the westerly half of our city in the McCormick Woods area. We're working hard to create opportunity and redevelopment in our older part of our town, our downtown on the waterfront. We have 81 employees. We have an overall budget of approximately $35 million, and our current expense budget is roughly $10 million.
$30 million. Same question there.
We're also growing very quickly. Not as quickly as Port Orchard, and frankly, I am relieved that we are growing at a moderate pace. There's 10,210 people in the city of Poulsbo.
What was it when you became mayor?
About 9,500. We have 92 employees. That is down from the 96 employees in 2009. We still have not recovered our staff levels from the recession. We have a very large Parks and Rec department, which accounts for the reasons why our employees, we have many more employees. We do Parks and Rec services all over North Kitsap County. We had over 710 classes that we had last calendar year from the city of Poulsbo. So a very large rec program, and that accounts for a few more employees.
And a beautiful waterfront.
And a beautiful waterfront, very vibrant downtown, growing, a lot of single-family residents being developed.
Any changes on the waterfront?
We just demolished our old city hall, and so that will be a multi-story apartment building, and we are in the process of building, or they will build another apartment building where our old police station is. So yes, there is large development going in downtown.
And I was a part-time pro tem judge in that building for 6 years. Yeah.
Pretty amazing. It's gone now. It's gone.
So Mayor Putaansuu, let's transition, if we could, to priorities that you may have. When I say you, I mean your city and your government, the city council, your residents. What priorities are on the immediate horizon? Priorities, by that I mean priorities and initiatives.
We're working on our code and to make it create incentives, I should say, in our downtown. Like as I spoke to earlier, things are developing very rapidly in the McCormick Woods area, and our downtown is challenged. And so we've currently put property tax abatement in place. We've got some other subtle code changes that we need to make, from unit size to density, so that we make our downtown more attractive to redevelopment. And going with that, our pedestrian pathway as part of our downtown redevelopment, and we're excited to say we have all of the funding in place with that, and we will be putting segment 5 out to construction in next summer. Okay. So
are you able to address what those challenges are? Because I know things seem to be moving in Port Orchard.
In my first 6 months in office, I've met with a number of folks in the development community to help identify what those challenges are and what those obstacles are. We are holistically looking at our code, but a complete revamp of your code will take us a year or two to accomplish. There are some short-term fixes the council seems receptive to changing that could create some opportunity.
Similar question, Erickson. I mentioned to you earlier privately, or not privately, before we went on air, that I did a ride along with a deputy sheriff last night, a very young deputy sheriff, did a wonderful job. Viking Way, there seems to be something happening in that area.
It's very busy. It used to be, when I became mayor in 2010, both our downtown and Viking were dying. Downtown had 13 empty storefronts, abandoned cars in the parking lot. It was very troubling. A lot of work and a lot of energy by many people in city government in order to revitalize our downtown, which is now thriving and vibrant and alive. Viking
Good
Avenue,
restaurants.
very good restaurants, really nice shops. We're very fortunate. Viking Avenue, much of the land was in foreclosure. We have worked very, very hard to revitalize it. We now have, we're going to have 5 brew pubs in Poulsbo, 2 of which are located on Viking Avenue. Sound Brewery is taken over Campana's restaurant, very large tasting room. We have the RV dealerships moving back in. We have a large car dealership that's moved back in. Viking Avenue is full and busy and thriving. So very, very proud. A lot of hard work by many people.
Are you seeing, either of you, let me ask the mayor, Poulsbo first, are you seeing public-private partnerships in Poulsbo? And same question for you, Mayor Putaansuu, after Mayor Erickson.
But we don't have many public-private partnerships. This is all private investment. And now that doesn't mean we haven't seriously marketed our community to those that want to invest and work very hard to work with them, but not allow public investment in private enterprise. Now, what we do provide is a surety of infrastructure, which means stormwater, roads, sewer, all of those pieces are in place.
Do you have tax credits?
No.
And Poulsbo does not, Port Orchard, tax credits?
We have in targeted areas.
Okay.
We have none. And what we do is we charge impact fees and then take those impact fees, put them back in and build infrastructure with them, which makes it very attractive for development.
Okay. Mayor Putaansuu.
We're courting development from the private sector. We do have a piece of property that was in foreclosure, and it was a burned out restaurant on our waterfront. We stepped in and purchased that property. And so from that standpoint, we're a landowner downtown, but I'm really trying to market that property and get someone to do a project on that versus someone else holding it in their land bank and not doing anything with it.
Can I interrupt? One of the really interesting secrets about being a small town mayor is I didn't realize I was going to have to be a commercial broker.
Okay, exactly.
We are working with people all the time. I know you are too, Rob. Where you're marketing pieces of property that's city owned, or you're working with private property, recruiting businesses to come in and work in that space. And I don't know about you, but that was a surprise to me when I became a mayor. I was like,
so Mayor Erickson, who doesn't know this, not only is she a commercial broker, but she used to manage a very, very large commercial fishing operation out of Alaska. So she's been around that commercial side. Capital improvements, anything you want to have the viewers at home know about specific capital improvements in your area?
We've got the Tremont project that we hope to be breaking ground next year on. Our pedestrian pathway, along the waterfront. We've got a significant well project that we should be putting that hole in the ground too later this fall, if not for sure next spring. So we've got a lot going on in Port Orchard.
we have first of all, the 305 corridor study, which is improvements along 305 where we're working with the county.
For the public, 305 would be Agate Pass.
It starts at where the ferry, Bainbridge Island Ferry, and across Agate Pass all the way to Poulsbo. But working with the county and the Suquamish tribe to improve the roadway through that corridor. Additionally, we have the Knoll Road project, large road that's starting, and we are also working on a waterfront trail.
Very good. So my goal,
and I missed one very significant project is our
time's up. Just kidding.
Our first regional park in Port Orchard, which will be the McCormick Village Park.
Yes.
It'll be $1 million investment that we break ground on next summer out in the McCormick Woods area.
Very good.
That is, you can't build enough of those. They're so important for you.
So one of
Good
the
for you.
one of my objectives in putting the mayors and the cities together with the county to the public was to let the public know that we actually do cooperate and work together.
Mm-hmm.
That being the 4 cities and the county government. Can you give us an example from your own perspective how City of Port Orchard, how the City of Poulsbo works with the county government, not just me or the other 2 commissioners, but how you work with the county government?
Well, the 305 corridor is a classic example, but
Okay.
I think most importantly, I look out my office window and I'm looking at county property. Right across Liberty Bay, I see county, which means Poulsbo is only 4.5 square miles, and so everything around it is county. There is cooperation by necessity, and also it helps both the county and the city to do things in a cooperative way, and we're on the same page. You know, the North End Commissioner Gelder, and I meet frequently. We understand each other's philosophy and I always try to keep him in the loop about what's going on with the city, and he does the same thing with the county, and it's a sibling relationship. So it works well.
I believe absolutely. We all sit on a number of policy boards, from housing to CENTCOM to transportation elements.
So you might, if you would, Mayor, you might explain to the public that what CENTCOM is and the housing,
Sure.
that component, Kitsap,
Sure.
Housing
Kitsap is our county.
and also public health and many Kitsap Transit, yeah.
And CENTCOM is your 911 service.
Yeah.
We have the Housing Authority, the Kitsap Housing Authority, we call Housing Kitsap. And just last week, Mayor Erickson and I were with Commissioner Garrido talking about homeless housing and trying to find solutions for that. And I know Mayor Erickson already has a mayor's ad hoc committee or something similar to that, and I'm in the midst of kicking one off. And it's important that we collaborate, share ideas. I came from a commercial banking career for 30 years and know very little. I mean, I see the problem, but don't know how to solve it. And I think there's some experts in my community and in the other leaders out
This
there.
is so complicated. For example, to give you an example, last night on my ride along with Deputy Sheriff Brandon Myers, we hiked in the Clear Creek Trail right by the Clear Creek, and there were 3 mattresses and people living there on a regular basis. And I don't even want to tell you what we saw there. But that's not a unique situation. I think we're finding that more around the county, not just in central Kitsap, but in north and certainly in south.
It's a heartbreaking situation, but it's a situation that we have to solve collaboratively.
We do.
Because folks move from place to place, and we need to increase the supply of affordable housing, increase the supply of treatment for those that have addictive problems, which many of them do, increase the availability of mental health, access to mental health treatment, because it's all interwoven. And if we don't do this, it becomes a public safety issue. It becomes a public health issue. So we're all working together to help one another figure out these problems.
And as the mayors suggested or mentioned, the 3 county commissioners and the mayors, we probably sit on 10 or 12 boards together, meeting at least every other week from public health, a big issue. And so we'll maybe no more on homelessness tonight, but it's a project. Not a project. It's an area that we have to continue to pay attention to. So I know we're getting ready to close down this segment. I'm going to give you the opportunity, if you'd like to take it. Anything you want the public to know about Port Orchard, or how wonderful it is to work with the county?
The county is one of the biggest employers in Port Orchard, and we're thrilled to have you there. I think there's tremendous opportunity in Port Orchard. I believe it's from our water and mountain vistas. It's just a fabulous place to live, work, or play.
Yeah, and you've been there a long time.
And I'm just really proud that I live in Poulsbo, and that Poulsbo is part of Kitsap County. You know, we have a true advantage in Kitsap County, all of us working together, because when you go to King County or Pierce County, Snohomish County, there are so many jurisdictions, there are so many people, and it makes it much more difficult to solve problems and create what I call responsive government. Here, there's 4 cities and a county, and we all work together, and we try. I know we all try to listen to the people we serve, and so I'm very proud of my community. It's a beautiful place to live, and it's great.
We've all lived somewhere else, of course, and what attracted my wife and me to Kitsap County 18, 19 years ago was the sense of community. And I don't say that lightly, because not only do we work professionally in our, even when I was out not in government as a practicing attorney, or when you were in banking, we all work in our community in organizations. And kids are playing right here at the park, as you can probably tell. We love our park, but we all work outside of our jobs, our day jobs, in our communities. Not just Rotary, but many other organizations. So I know we're all happy to be here.
Absolutely.
Just going to make it better.
Yep, we are.
Yeah. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Commissioner's Corner. Again, I still am Ed Wolfe, and with me I have Mayor Erickson from Poulsbo and Mayor Putaansuu from Port Orchard. We're talking off camera about what is it about your community that draws people here? What is it about Poulsbo and Port Orchard that you believe people are moving in? Because your populations have grown and continue growing.
Well, from the standpoint of visitors, not necessarily the residents, I think it's definitely our waterfront and the festivals that we have on the waterfront, from our Fathoms of Fun parade and fireworks display, the summer festivals. In particular, we had a Mustangs on the Waterfront show here about 3 weeks ago. They had a record number of cars at 275 cars. This last weekend, we had our annual Saints Car Club cruise event. We had 650 cars and 20,000 people on our waterfront. And it's just a huge boost to our local economy, show off our city, and help out our downtown merchants that struggle all winter long. And I would remiss if I didn't speak to the wonderful marina that we have, that the Port of Bremerton operates and brings a number from the Chris Craft Rendezvous to other boating events that brings tourism and visitors to our community.
And I would be remiss if I didn't say that I remember years ago watching David Letterman when he was around, and there's a seagull calling contest.
And we have a seagull wing cooking contest now too that we've added.
So the seagull calling is morphed into a seagull wing.
Well, they're chicken wings.
I was going to say, you're eating seagulls?
We're not, but we call it the Wing Fest, and it's after the seagull calling. So
a lot going on.
Oh, Poulsbo's just a beautiful, quaint little town, and even as it grows, and it is growing very quickly, it still has that small town ambience. And then, of course, it has that underlying, Scandinavian, Norwegian theme and flair, which is, it's genuine. It's not that we tried to make it up for marketing. The principal language spoken in Poulsbo until World War II was Norwegian. We have the Norwegians, we have the Finns, and we have the Swedes, and there's a real underpinning of that Norwegian heritage and that sturdiness of stock. And people work hard, and they play hard. And it's a beautiful place. It's got a gorgeous bay. We have 3 marinas, one of which is operated by the Port of Poulsbo. And people just love to come and play. And then when they come and play, they look around and they say, wow, would I like to live here? And we've seen that pattern over and over. Well, people will come for a couple days and check us out, and then pretty soon they're trying to figure out how to buy a house. And so it's a great place, great people, great community spirit, great place to raise a family. And that and the fact that we're on every weather channel every morning helps too, where the weatherman shows Poulsbo as it's zooming in, because it is extremely picturesque. So
we'll close on the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel, there you go.
You're on the Weather Channel every morning. Thank you, Mayor Erickson and Mayor Putaansuu, for joining us, and until we do this again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you at not a committee, but a board meeting somewhere in the near future.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. I want to thank the mayors of Poulsbo and Port Orchard for joining me today on Commissioner's Corner. This wraps up this segment of Commissioner's Corner, dealing with our city mayors across the county and what we've learned how all four mayors from Poulsbo, from Port Orchard, from Bainbridge, from what am I missing? Bremerton. We work together. It's not just, these aren't just segregated governments. We work together, we cooperate together, and we've got a great team, and I'm very proud of that team and with our county and our city governments. Things are happening in Kitsap County with that 263,000 residents in Kitsap County, and I wanted the public to see that we do work together and we do cooperate, whether it's mental health or whether it's public health or whether it's transit, we work together. And I want to thank you all for stopping by to Commissioner's Corner. I'm once again Ed Wolfe, and I'll see you the next time.